Today we are going to start unit number 1, that is thermal power plant. Okay, this is your unit 1, thermal power plant. And this thermal power plant comprises of two parts, that is coal fired plant and nuclear power plants. So we will start with coal fired plants. Okay, so first we will discuss about the coal fired plants, and then we will discuss about the nuclear power plants. Okay, on the last one, in the introductory lecture, we have also discussed about that coal fired plant and the nuclear power plant both come in the thermal power plant, and half working of this on both of these power plant is same, and that is the generation part, and the steam generation part. How the steam is generated in both of these power plants is different. In a coal fired plant we use coal as a fuel, and nuclear power plant we use uranium as a fuel. Okay, so today we are going to discuss first about the coal fired plant. And in every power plant we have also I have also told you that the first point or the first thing which we go through and do the analysis is of a site selection, that where we are going to establish that power plant. Site selection. Okay, first thing is site selection, and in that site selection there are few points which we consider. In view of those parameters we select the site for that particular power plant. So first point which we consider in this is transmission of energy. So in this point, that transmission of energy, the power plant should be located as near as the load center. Okay, whatever I am speaking, you all prepare the notes. I am not writing all these lines in this lecture. Okay, so simply the transmission of energy, the power plant should be located as near as the load center, where energy is consumed in large amounts. Okay, why this? Because to reduce the transmission cost. Because as near as, we are not going to tell this that just nearby the city or the populated city, but as near as that whatever the you can say efficient energy can be reached at that particular center, because the transmission cost is very high. The transmission lines you must have seen, and when you move on the highways, the heavy towers are located at there, and the transmission lines are going through that. So the cost of those wires and the cost of those towers and the construction of all those, the foundation for all these things, so there is a lot of cost being invested in that. So as much as near we can locate that power plant, our cost is going to decrease. So we consider first thing that the transmission of power, that the power plant should be located as near as, after keeping in view the other aspects also, not only this one. Okay, so this is the first point. Then second is cost of land, cost of real estate. Okay, or can say land. Okay, second thing is this, the cost of land is also a very important point, and that thermal power plant need a large space for installation of equipment. Okay, most of you have seen the thermal power plants, and it needs a huge amount of land. And one of the thermal power plant I think is going to installed nearby that Khurja, when you move towards Khurja from Aligarh, then on the right hand side you will see that a large amount of land they have occupied, that state government is going to construct the thermal power plant over there. So you can analyze that how much amount of land is being needed for that, and how much the cost for land should be there. So the cost to thermal power plant need a large space for installation of equipments and storage of fuel. Okay, storage of fuel is what you need a large area for dumping the coal over there. The rail facility should be available over there, so that a big area is being needed for the storage of the coals. Approximately 15 days coal should be there. In extra amount should be available in the power plant. So there's a lot of land is being needed, and other equipment, that is generator part and the transformer part and all those, boiler, and there should be the switch yard over there. So a huge amount of land is being needed. So the cost of the land should be this way, that it shouldn't burden that. Okay, the cost of land near load centers are very costly. Load center means costly, that if we consider the Aligarh, and we are going to construct the power plant nearby Aligarh, where the cost of the land is huge. You can see that कि अलीगढ़ के करीब में भी इस वक्त जो है आप निकलिए चारों तरफ, तो ज़मीन की कीमत बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ चुकी है. तो अगर वहाँ पर हम इस्टेब्लिश करेंगे तो उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. सो हम उसको ऐसी जगह बनाते हैं ताकि आपके जो है वो लोड सेंटर से दूर हो. ओके, और वहाँ ज़मीन की कॉस्ट आपकी हो. अब यहाँ पर अगर ख़रीदेंगे ज़मीन की कॉस्ट इतनी ज़्यादा हो जाएगी आपकी. ओके, सो वी कंसिडर these parameters. Then next thing is transport of fuel. Now if you consider this point, the thermal power plant needs a lot of coal every day. Okay, so it needs a huge amount of coal, that approximately 200 megawatt of plant require approximately 2000 tons of coal daily. Okay, 200 megawatt plants need 2000 tons of coal daily. And as I have told you earlier, that we keep approximately 15 days of coal in extra. So how much this become? So huge amount of this. I am telling just about the 200 megawatt power plant. Otherwise, if the power plant size increases, that is, it becomes a 1000. Most of the power plants are 500 megawatts, 1000 megawatts, 2000 megawatts. So you can proportionally you can analyze, imagine that how much amount of coal is being needed for that. So this large amount of coal being needed to run that power plant. So the transportation should also be there. The access of transportation should be good, so that the coal should reach in that power plant in a very easy manner. So we provide the train facility, so that the train should come and all the trains jump in the coal yard very easily. So the transport should be very good at those points. So the site should be located such that the coal can be transported easily from mines to plants. Coal mines are generally away from load centers. You must be aware about the coal mines are, and a huge amount of coal is also being imported from Australia, from Indonesia. So they come to the seaports in Surat, in Gujarat and in South. So from there we bring that through railway by using rails. So a long distance they have to cover. Okay, so access of transportation should be good. Okay, access of transportation for fuel also, and access for transportation for other machinery which is being used to installed at the load center at the thermal power plant, means the transformer, big transformers. You have seen that a big truck is being used for that, in which there are hundreds of tires are there. Okay, and for the generators are also being transported. These are the huge heavy machines. which are being transported to the thermal power plant. So the access of transportation should be good for that. Okay, especially for the fuels, because just after the construction of the thermal power plant, the huge amount of coal is being needed daily. So access of transportation for fuel is a very important point. Then next come to availability of water. Availability of water. Okay, now water, for steam generation we need water, for condensing we need water, but for steam generation we need demineralized water. DM water is called, and the cost of DM water, the power, the plant to make the normal water into the convert the normal water into demineralized water is being installed in the thermal power plant over there. So that is a very costly water. Okay, and the normal water which is being used to condense when the steam from the turbine is exited, and then again we need to convert that steam into the water, so the condenser is being needed over there. Okay, the condenser, you have seen that the construction of the we will study that. Okay, there is a big size condenser is being there in the thermal power plant. So a lot of amount of water is there, and the water comes from through the pipe. We move the water up to the some height, and then just as a function of you must have seen घरों के अंदर जो आजकल वाटर कूलर्स होते हैं, the same procedure is being that, not the water cooler, फैन जो कूलर्स होते हैं घर में, ठीक है, तो उसमें जो प्रोसीजर होता है, आपका पानी ऊपर जाता है और वाटर ड्रॉपलेट्स की फॉर्म में नीचे जो आता है, तो टेम्परेचर उसका डिक्रीज हो जाता है, तो ये जो वाटर कूल हो जाता है और स्टीम पाइप जो है वो यहाँ आते हैं। तो स्टीम का जो पाइप होता है वो जब यहाँ आता है तो वो उस पानी को, स्टीम को वाटर में कन्वर्ट कर देता है, और ये पानी वाटर ड्रॉपलेट की फॉर्म में जब यहाँ आता है तो ये नीचे काफ़ी कूल हो जाता है। ओके, तो simply what we need to say that we need a huge amount of water for that. So the availability of water is very important point. So a large supply of water is needed for condenser cooling. Therefore, sites adjacent to large bodies of water are preferable. Availability of pure water as makeup water is also required. Pure water as a makeup water. Makeup water means in the condenser also, and makeup water in steam cycle also. Okay, so availability of water should be there. Next is ash disposal plant. Ash disposal. Now what is ash disposal? Thermal power plant produce huge quantity of ash. Site where disposal of ash is easy will be naturally advantageous. Okay, so that side is being advantageous, जहाँ करीब में ही हम कहीं ऐश को जाके डंप कर दें. अब you can analyze that approximately 5% to 40% of ash is being there in the coal. 5% for the good quality coal and 40% for the poor quality coal. So huge amount of ash is there. So that ash we need to dispose, dump. So we need the area. Okay, we need the land for that. So ash disposal is also the big problem. Approximately on an average 25% of ash is there in the coal. So approximately in a 2000 megawatt plant, okay, 5,000 tons of ash is there daily. Okay, 5,000 tons of ash is being produced in a 2000 megawatt of plant daily. So you can imagine that if there is a 5,000 tons of ash is there daily, then how much big area we need for that. Okay, so the ash disposal is also the main point for the site selection. in that area. So it encourages having, because when the power plant is established at particular location, so when we step up the voltage and then when we supply, so nearby area when is there, so the cost of electricity should be low at that point. Okay, so the cost after establishing the power plant, it encourages setting of heavy industries in that area. As a result of big industries also come. So okay, so this can improve the economy of the backward area considerably. The area which is being located nearby those thermal power plants, so the people living nearby those thermal power plants, so their lifestyle improves because they get they get the jobs over there. Their life become easy for that. Okay, so this is also the main point: equitable growth of different areas. Okay, then reliability of supply. Okay, reliability of supply means what? Now you can see that if all the big power plants are located at one side of the state, okay, एक तरफ वो सारे के सारे power plants आ जाएं, जैसे इंडिया के अंदर, if you see that if we have all the power plants in northern region, then the transmission cost in the southern region, in the eastern and the western region should be very high. Okay, so we establish the power plants in such a way that the reliability of supply is easy in every part of the nation. Okay, so as a generating station should be located in different areas of the state, so that reliability of supply is good at all points. Okay, so this is also the main point, that we didn't establish the power plants in one particular location. Okay, so these are the points which are mainly considered to establish any power plant. Okay, so this is all about the site selection. Now let's have a look. Just we should write the basic components of the power plant, the main basic components of a power plant is, first one is your boiler part. Okay, boiler, this is a very important component of the thermal power plant. Okay, second is your turbine. Okay, and third is your alternator, generator. Okay, so these three are the very basic components of the power plant. Okay, and different components also we are going to discuss. Okay, now let's move towards the components of the power plant. So consider the components of the power plant one by one. So first we consider coal handling plant. Coal handling plant. Now the function of the coal handling plant is automatic feeding of coal to boiler furnace. Okay, there is a the conveyor belt is there. Okay, so through the conveyor belt, when we put the coal in the conveyor belt, so it is approximately 1.5 kilometer long. So that conveyor belt moves towards the boiler, and by using that conveyor belt we put the coal into the furnace. Okay, boiler furnace. Coal is weighed, उसका वजन किया जाता है, and led to the hopper. Hopper is there through which we put the coal into the conveyor mechanism in the conveyor belt. So led to the hopper through a conveyor mechanism. A thermal power plant burns enormous amount of coal. Since we need a huge amount of coal over there, approximately 200 megawatt of plant needs around 2000 tons of coal daily. Okay, so that much amount of coal we need daily. So the mechanism for coal handling is also very you can say impressive. There is a hopper where there are the cranes are there, cranes or you can say not the cranes, you can say ये जो JCB होती है आपकी, it put the coal and put in the hopper. When the coal is put into the hopper, so through the hopper it weights the coal and then it put in the conveyor belt, where the conveyor belt is continuously moving. Okay, the conveyor belt is moving continuously. It is approximately 1.5 kilometer long. So through that we put the coal into the furnace. Okay, so this is the simple mechanism of the coal. Now this is the first thing. उसमें सबसे पहले कोल ही की जरूरत पड़ती है आपकी. Okay, then next come to the pulverizing plant. I will also shoot a few videos related to that. Let us just simply discuss about these points and then we will see those videos so that it should become clear by watching all those things, all those components in an animated form. Okay, so what is pulverizing plant? Pulverizing plant simply in modern power plants coal is pulverized. Pulverized means it is pulverized into a dust like size, मतलब उसे पीस दिया जाता है इतना that it converted into a dust like size. Okay, dust like size in the powdered form and carried to the furnace. Okay, and then it is carried to the furnace in a stream of hot air. Hot air कहाँ से आती है वो, we will discuss it later. तो in a stream of hot air की presence में उसको वहां पर ले जाया जाता है. So pulverizing is done for exposing. अब वो जब वो powdered form में हो जाएगी means its surface area is exposed in how the maximum surface area of the coal we can expose by pulverizing that coal. तो pulverizing is done for exposing a large surface area to the action of oxygen and helping the combustion, जिसकी वजह से आपका combustion बहुत अच्छा हो जाता है और वो बहुत अच्छे से आपका burn करता है कोयला. ठीक है, तो that's why we pulverize the coal. So what are the advantages of that? Advantages, write all these things. Advantages of pulverizing plant. So pulverizing plant, write down. First thing is a rate of combustion can be controlled to meet the varying load. Okay, जब अगर आपका लोड वेरी हो रहा है तो हम कितना कोयला उसमें डालना है तो ये हम कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं. और अगर उसमें पाउडर फॉर्म में जाएगा मीन्स वी आर जस्ट पुटिंग द कोल ओवर देयर एंड जस्ट इट गेट्स बर्न, तो उसमें टाइम कम लगेगा, तो द कंट्रोलिंग शुड बी गुड. ओके, अगर हम उसको बड़े साइज में वहाँ पर डालते हैं तो उसको जलने में टाइम ज़्यादा लगेगा और हम कंट्रोल उसको इतनी जल्दी नहीं कर सकते. सो वी पुट द कोल ओवर देयर in the powder form and so the controlling is good when the load varies. Okay, and next thing is next point is the percentage of excess air required is low. Okay, excess air required is low because it get exposed to air because it is in the powder form. Preheat air can be used successfully. Preheat air, the heat, there are the two things here. Air preheater is being installed in the thermal power plant. Okay, this is also one of the component we should study later on. So preheat, the steam which is coming out of the turbine, उसकी temperature बहुत ज़्यादा high होती है, तो वहाँ पर there is a closed chamber. Okay, closed chamber is there. तो उसमें एक तरफ से you can say that एक तरफ से आपकी उसमें steam जो एग्जॉस्ट स्टीम होती है, यूज स्टीम होती है, उसको मूव कराया जाता है और दूसरी तरफ से उसमें एयर को मूव कराया जाता है. ठीक है, तो व्हेन दीज टू चैम्बर्स केम इन कांटेक्ट, तो उस सरफेस से जब एयर के सरफेस का कांटेक्ट में आती है तो द टेम्परेचर ऑफ दिस एयर इंक्रीजेस. तो ये बहुत हाई अमाउंट ऑफ द टेम्परेचर ऑफ दिस एयर इंक्रीजेस, तो ये बहुत हॉट एयर बन जाती है. इस हॉट एयर को हम ले जाते हैं फर्नेस के करीब, जिसके थ्रू हम कोयले को फर्नेस में डालते हैं, मतलब फर्नेस में जाने से पहले इस स्ट्रीम की प्रेजेंस में आपका कोयला वहां रखा जाता है। तो जब गर्म हवा की प्रेजेंस में वो जहां से जाता है तो वो ऑलरेडी उस कोयले का जो टेम्परेचर है वो बढ़ चुका होता है, ठीक है। तो वो जब टेम्परेचर उसका बढ़ चुका होता है तो वो पाउडर फॉर्म का कोयला पहले ही से गर्म होता है, तो इस फर्नेस में जाने के बाद में वो बहुत जल्दी बर्न हो जाता है आपका, ठीक है। तो वी आर टेलिंग ओवर हियर द प्री हीट एयर कैन बी यूज्ड सक्सेसफुली, okay, when there is a pulverizing plant is there, a pulverized coal we are using, okay. Then next thing is the wide variety of low grade coal can be used. Low grade coal can also be used when it is being used in the powder form, okay. It get mixes with the good coal, तो उसको मिक्सअप करने में आसानी रहती है, okay. Then the boiler can be started from cold condition very easily. जब पाउडर फॉर्म में जाएगा आपका, तो जैसे अभी बताया कि उसको बर्न करने में टाइम नहीं लगेगा, ओके। तो द बॉयलर कैन बी स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम कोल्ड कंडीशन, ठंडे से गर्म होने में टाइम नहीं लगेगा, ठीक है। तो द बॉयलर कैन बी स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम कोल्ड कंडीशन वेरी इजीली। देन नेक्स्ट इज योर द पल्वराइजिंग इक्विपमेंट इज आउटसाइड द फर्नेस। पल्वराइजिंग इक्विपमेंट जो होता है वो आपका बॉयलर में तो होता नहीं है, बॉयलर से बाहर होता है, ठीक है, फर्नेस से बाहर होता है। तो द pulverizing equipment is outside the furnace, therefore it can be repaired and maintained online. Online means जब आपका कोयला बर्न कर रहा हो at that particular time also we can repair, or we can if the maintenance is required we can maintain that, okay. So these are the few advantages of pulverizing pulverizing plant. Now let us discuss about the disadvantages. Disadvantages. So what are the disadvantages of this? Investment cost of plant increases, okay. एक्स्ट्रा इक्विपमेंट जब आप पल्वराइजिंग प्लांट की फॉर्म में इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं तो कॉस्ट तो बढ़नी है, ओके. इन्वेस्टमेंट इंक्रीजेस. एक्सप्लोजन हैजार्ड एग्जिस्ट. एक्सप्लोजन हैजार्ड क्योंकि वो बहुत बारीक कोयला होता है, हीटअप ज़्यादा कर जाए तो एक्सप्लोजन हैजार्ड उसकी वजह से इंक्रीज कर जाए. वी जस्ट नीड टू टेक सम सेफ्टी प्रिकॉशंस. It rarely happens, but the problem exists, so we take the safety precautions for that, okay. Then auxiliary power consumption is increased when you are going to run the pulverizing plant or pulverizing mill. Then extra amount of electricity is being used for that, okay. So auxiliary power consumption is increased. Auxiliary power is what? Auxiliary power is that power which when the electricity is being generated in any power plant, so some amount of power, the huge amount of power is being transported, okay. वो तो आपकी ट्रांसमिशन लाइंस के थ्रू जहाँ रिक्वायरमेंट होती है कंज्यूमर एरिया में वहाँ भेज दी जाती है, बट फ्यू अमाउंट ऑफ पावर इज बीइंग यूटिलाइज इनसाइड द पावर प्लांट, ठीक है. वो पावर प्लांट के अंदर ही जो आपकी पावर इस्तेमाल की जाती है, दैट इज सिंपली कॉल्ड एज ऑक्सिलरी पावर. सो उस ऑक्सिलरी पावर का जो इस्तेमाल होता है अंदर ही मशीनरी को चलाने के लिए होता है, अंदर पावर प्लांट के अंदर भी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का यूज होता है, तो वहां इस्तेमाल करते हैं. प्लस इफ वी आर गोइंग टू यूज एक्स्ट्रा इक्विपमेंट्स इन दैट जस्ट लाइक पल्वराइजिंग मिल, so that auxiliary power is also used for that also. So they are talking about that point, that auxiliary power consumption is increased when we use the pulverizing mill, okay. Then the plant require ESP, electrostatic precipitator, to reduce stack emission to acceptable level. What is stack emission and what are these things? Stack emission are they are simply the part of the these are the pollutants, ओके. इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक प्रेसिपिटेटर इज सिंपली द फिल्टर जिसको यूज करके बहुत सारा पॉल्यूशन आप डिक्रीज कर सकते हैं. वी विल स्टडी अबाउट दैट, ओके. सो द प्लांट रिक्वायर ESP, इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक प्रेसिपिटेटर, टू रिड्यूस स्टैक एमिशन to acceptable level, okay. Then last one is a lot of extra equipments, mills are needed. The same thing came over there. pulverizing plant जब इस्तेमाल करेंगे तो उसमें pulverizing mill जो आपकी इस्तेमाल होगी तो extra equipment is being required over there, okay. So these are the disadvantages of pulverizing plant. So now let's come to different type of pulverizing mills. Pulverizing mill, okay. What are those pulverizing mill? First one is your contact mill, okay. Second is your ball mill. and third is your impact mill. Okay, these are the three types of pulverizing mill are used in the thermal power plant. Okay, so let's discuss about the first one, that is the contact mill. Now if we discuss about the contact mill, तो सिंपली कॉन्टैक्ट मिल सिंपली आपका क्या होता है, सिलेंड्रिकल फॉर्म में आपका होता है. ठीक है, अगर उसका साइड व्यू देखा जाए तो कॉन्टैक्ट मिल ये होता है कि आपका एक सिलेंडर यूं बना हुआ है, दूसरा सिलेंडर आपका यूं बना हुआ है. इसमें यहाँ पर इसकी जो सरफेस है वी आर साइड व्यू. ओके, तो यहाँ पर भी बॉल्स होती हैं, यहाँ कुछ यूं होता है उठा उठा. ठीक है, अंदर सरफेस पे जब आप इसको रोटेट कराएंगे और यहाँ पर कोयला आपका डाला जाएगा, तो इस बीच में जब कोयला आपका आता है तो वो इन दोनों सरफेस के बीच में आके क्रश हो जाता है. जब वो क्रश हो जाता है तो वी जस्ट रोटेट दिस, कीप ऑन रोटेटिंग दिस. तो जितना ज़्यादा वो बीच में आएगा, इनके साइजेस जो होते हैं वो वेरी करते हैं, तो बड़ा छोटा फिर वो पाउडर फॉर्म में होता चला जाता है. ठीक है, अगर और फिर इसमें हम एक तरफ से हॉट एयर इंपोज कराते हैं. जब उसमें हॉट एयर जाती है तो जो पाउडर फॉर्म का होता है, एक तरफ इनपुट होता है, दूसरी तरफ उसका आउटपुट होता है. ठीक है, तो जब हम उसमें हॉट एयर इंपोज कराएंगे, ठीक है, एक तरफ से हम हॉट एयर देंगे तो पाउडर फॉर्म का जो कोयला होता है वो दूसरी तरफ से निकलता चला जाता है. ठीक है, इधर से हॉट एयर आपकी जाती है, पाउडर फॉर्म का कोयला आपका इधर से निकलता चला जाता है, वो हम उसको फर्नेस में डंप करते चले जाते हैं. और जो बड़े बड़े पार्टिकल्स, जो बड़ा कोयले का साइज होता है वो अभी रोटेट करता रहता है अनलेस इट कम्स इन अ पाउडर फॉर्म. ओके, सो दिस इज द प्रोसीजर. और इस तरह से अगर देखें तो आपका ये सिंपली सिलेंडर होता है, इसके अंदर जो है ये इसका साइड व्यू था यहाँ से, तो ये दोनों पार्ट्स आप अंदर रोटेट करते रहते हैं. एक तरफ से एयर ब्लो कराई जाती है, दूसरी तरफ से एग्जिट कराई जाती है. ठीक है, सो इस तरह से आपका कोयला आता चला जाता है. ऊपर से कोयला अगर हम डालें तो यहाँ से आपका कोयला आता चला जाता है, और ये फिर आपका कोयला दूसरी तरफ से निकल कर आपका फर्नेस में चला जाता है. ठीक है, सो दिस इज सिंपली द कंस्ट्रक्शन. वी विल give you the practically how it looks. We will also show you the video for that contact mill. So simply we are just write down a few lines about that it has a stationary and power driven rotating elements. Okay, एक तो उसका stationary part होता है, दूसरा power driven rotating element होता है, having a rolling action with respect to each other. दोनों एक दूसरे के रिस्पेक्ट में रोल कर रहे हैं. The grinding elements have rollers. The grinding elements have rollers running over a stationary surface. Hot air is circulated. The fine particles go with air and bigger ones return for regrinding. ठीक है, जैसा अभी बताया था. The supply of pulverized coal to burner is controlled by flow of air. तो जो सप्लाई होती है हम किससे कंट्रोल कर रहे हैं यहाँ पर? We are controlling the supply of fuel into the furnace by the flow of air. Okay, so this is how we control the burning of the fuel into the furnace. Now next come to the ball mill. Okay, what is ball mill? Ball mill is simply this, that there is a closed cylinder. आपका एक क्लोज सिलेंडर होता है. ठीक है, ये क्लोज सिलेंडर है और हम इसको रोटेट कराते हैं. इसके अंदर बॉल्स होती हैं, यहां बहुत सारी स्टील बॉल्स होती हैं अंदर, डिफरेंट साइजेस की. ठीक है, जब ये स्टील बॉल्स होती हैं, किसी भी एक सिलेंडर के अंदर स्टील बॉल्स आप डाल दीजिए बहुत सारी. ठीक है, अब उसमें आपका कोयला अंदर इनपुट किया जाता है, मतलब कोयला आपका उसमें अंदर जा रहा है, ये आपका रोटेट करता है. जब ये रोटेट करता है तो व्हेन दीज स्टील बॉल्स स्ट्राइक विद ईच अदर एंड व्हेन द कोल कम्स बिटवीन दोज बॉल्स इट गेट क्रश्ड. ओके, ये आपका क्रश होता चला जाता है. तो अब इसको हम इतनी तेज मूव नहीं कराते, क्योंकि अगर इसमें हम ज्यादा मूव कराएंगे तो ड्यू टू सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्स इज देयर, तो ये कहीं बॉल्स किनारे पे ही ना रह जाएं. तो इतना मूव कराते हैं इसको, इस स्पीड से इसका रोटेशन किया जाता है कि दे जस्ट स्ट्राइक ईच अदर, वो एक दूसरे टकराती रहे. ठीक है, जब वो एक दूसरे से टकराती रहेंगे तो उसमें फिर बीच में जब कोयला आएगा तो वो उसको तोड़ेगा और वो क्रश करता रहता है. तो उसको ऐसे कराते हैं, जो द सेम प्रोसीजर इज यूज्ड ओवर हियर. तो इट ऑपरेट्स मोस्टली अंडर सक्शन. ओके, around 17 to 20 revolutions per minute. Okay, this is the speed. A large cylinder, this is the large cylinder, this one, partly filled with various sized steel balls. इसको partly हम fill कर देते हैं अलग अलग साइज की स्टील बॉल से. is used in this mill. Okay, low speed is necessary for cascading of balls. The cylinder is rotated and coal is fed. Balls pulverize the coal by crushing it. Okay, and the same procedure in the last. Hot air carries the pulverized coal to classifiers that and the coal remains for several minutes. Coal remain inside this for several minutes. Okay, so this is simply the burning of your ball mill. Now let's come to the third one, impact mill. Impact mill is what? Now as the name suggests, impact means एक चीज को दूसरी चीज पे मारा जा रहा है सिंपली. ठीक है, उसका इम्पैक्ट उस पर कितना होता है, जस्ट लाइक दैट. सो द इम्पैक्ट मिल इज ऑल्सो द थर्ड टाइप ऑफ पल्वराइजिंग मिल. अब इम्पैक्ट मिल में आपका होता यह है कि एक सिंपली अगर कहें तो ये क्लोज चैम्बर ही चाहे मान लीजिए आप. क्लोज चैम्बर तो नहीं होता है बट यहाँ पर एक सिलेंड्रिकल फॉर्म में ही होता है. ठीक है, उसमें आप मान लीजिए उसमें एक तरफ से आपका कोयला आता है, यहाँ साइड में आपका हैमर फॉर्म में, साइड में आपके यहाँ पर, अभी मैं ड्राइंग उसकी सही से नहीं बना पा रहा हूँ, मैं आपको दिखाऊंगा उसको. ठीक है, बस ये समझ लीजिए साइड में उसके हैमर्स होते हैं और ये बीच में आपका है. तो यहाँ पर जब कोल फीड किया जाता है तो ये हैमर्स उससे टकराता है. ये कोयला, ये जब रोटेट हो रहा है तो कोयला इसके बीच में रोटेट होता रहता है, तो ये हैमर फॉर्म में इस पर अटैक करता है एक तरह से. तो इसके बीच में कोयला आता है, तो जब ये आता है तो वो क्रश करता चला जाता है. ठीक है, अगर बड़े होते हैं तो उसको रोटेट कराते रहते हैं. पाउडर फॉर्म में होता है तो वो उसमें एग्जिट कर जाता है. ठीक, तो आई थिंक यू आर अनेबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस क्लियरली. तो ये जब आप देखेंगे तो आपको अच्छे से समझ में आ जाएगा. ठीक है, तो इम्पैक्ट प्रिंसिपल इज यूज. इम्पैक्ट मिल, इम्पैक्ट प्रिंसिपल इज यूज. कोल रिमेन सस्पेंडेड ड्यूरिंग द इंटायर प्रोसेस. इसके अंदर कोल रहता है. ऑल ग्राइंडिंग एलिमेंट्स एंड प्राइमरी एयर फैन आर माउंटेड ऑन अ सिंगल शाफ्ट. एक ही शाफ्ट के ऊपर सब चीजें होती हैं उसमें. इन प्राइमरी स्टेज कोल इज रिड्यूस टू ग्रेन्यूल्स. ग्रेन्यूल्स मतलब छोटे छोटे पार्ट्स में हो जाता है, नॉट इन द पाउडर फॉर्म. बाय टू ग्रेन्यूल्स बाय इम्पैक्ट विथ सीरीज ऑफ हैमर्स. हैमर आप समझ गए, हथौड़ा. ठीक है, जस्ट लाइक उसी का इम्पैक्ट होता है इसमें. फाइनल स्टेज हैज pegs carried on rotating disc. Coal is carried to center where it encounters scoop shaped rejectors, arm rotating rapidly. Okay, this arm throw back large size coal. उसमें एक प्रोसीजर सिंपली ये होता है कि जो आपके बड़े बड़े पीसेस रह जाते हैं उसको दोबारा उसमें भेज देता है. वो द सेम प्रोसेस दोबारा उसमें भेज देता है और फिर से वो जब उसमें इम्पैक्ट करते हैं तो इम्पैक्ट होने के बाद में वो फाइनली जब पाउडर फॉर्म में होता है तो बाहर निकल कर आपका आता है कोल. ठीक है, सो दीज आर द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ पल्वराइजिंग मिल्स वी यूज्ड इन thermal power plant, means in the coal generating power plants. Okay, so then next is what? Next we will discuss about we have discussed about coal handling plant, we have discussed about pulverizing plant, and then next we are going to discuss about draft fans. Okay, so on the next one we will discuss about the draft fans. Okay, so for today this much only. On the next one we are going to discuss the other components, the draft fans and so on. Okay, so thanks a lot for today.